St. Petersburg, Russia. The year is 1866. The air is thick, hot, and suffocating, not just with the summer heat, but with the stench of poverty, desperation, and ideas too dangerous for the minds that hold them. Our story begins not with a detective, but with the criminal himself. Meet Rodion Raskolnikov, a young, intelligent, and bitterly proud former student. He's trapped in a tiny, coffin-like room, starving, dressed in rags, and drowning in debt. He is, in his own eyes, a man of immense potential, brought low by a world that is unjust and cruel. But in this feverish state, a terrible idea has taken root in his mind. It's a theory that all of humanity is divided into two groups. The vast majority are just ordinary. They live, they follow the rules, they contribute nothing truly great. But then there are the extraordinary, the Napoleons, the Supermen. These men, he believes, have the right, no, the duty to break the law, to step over moral boundaries for a greater purpose, to reshape the world, even if it requires blood. And he has chosen his test, a pawnbroker, an old woman, vile and greedy. She hoards wealth while people like him starve. She is, in his twisted calculation, a louse, a parasite. Removing her would be a service to the world, and he could use her money to do great things, to lift himself from poverty. A noble crime, a just murder. The plan is set. With a nervous, almost trance-like focus, he steals an axe, fashions a fake pledge to bring to her, and climbs the stairs to her apartment. His heart is a drum of terror and excitement. He gets inside. The old woman turns her back. He raises the axe. The blow falls. It is brutal, messy, and horrifyingly real. But in a nightmarish twist, her kind, simple-minded sister Lizaveta walks in and witnesses the scene. In a blind panic, Raskolnikov brings the axe down again, an innocent life snuffed out in an instant. He scrambles for money and jewels, taking only a handful and feasibly escaping detection. The deed is done, but the real crime is over. Now comes the punishment. And his punishment will not be delivered by the police. Not yet. His punishment is internal. It is a psychological hell of his own making. He falls into a feverish illness. Every knock at the door is the police. Every conversation is a trap. He is consumed by paranoia, isolation, and a sickness of the soul. He tries to hide the stolen goods, never using them. They are not symbols of liberation, but anchors of guilt, dragging him deeper into despair. He is Raskolnikov, a name derived from the Russian word for schism, for split, and he is splitting in two. One part is the cold, intellectual theorist who insists he was right. The other is the raw human conscience, screaming in horror at what he has done. The outside world begins to close in. The cunning magistrate, Porfiry Petrovich, is on the case. He doesn't have evidence, but he has psychology. He plays a cat-and-mouse game with Raskolnikov, engaging him in philosophical debates about the nature of crime. He's probing, waiting for the cracks to show. But amidst this darkness, there is light. Sonya Maladov, a young woman forced into prostitution to save her family from starvation. She is the embodiment of suffering, yet she possesses a profound, unshakable faith and compassion. She is everything Raskolnikov is not: humble, self-sacrificing, and full of love. She sees his torment, and instead of recoiling, she reaches out, she becomes his confessor. And when he finally, agonizingly, confesses his crime to her, her response shatters his worldview. She doesn't condemn him. She weeps for him. She tells him there is no one in the whole world now so unhappy as you. Her prescription for his salvation is simple and terrifying. You must suffer. You must confess. You must atone. She tells him to go to the public square, kneel down, and kiss the earth he has defiled. Then confess his crime to the world. The intellectual Superman is defeated by the love of the most humble soul, the Net Titans. Another man confesses to the murder, but Raskolnikov knows the truth is poisoning him. He is trapped between his theory, which lies in ruins, and his conscience, which demands peace. He goes to Sonya. She gives him a simple wooden cross. He walks to the bustling public square. His body trembles. His mind screams. This is the final step over the ledge from a self-appointed Napoleon to a common criminal. He kneels. He kisses the ground, but he cannot say the words. The crowd just laughs at him, thinking he's drunk. But the moment he returns to Sonya's apartment, the police are there. Porfiry has pieced it all together. Exhausted, broken, and finally ready, Raskolnikov speaks the words that end his internal torment. It was I who killed the old pawnbroker woman and her sister Lizaveta with an axe, and robbed them. Moral Lesson 1. The arrogance of believing yourself above moral law is a prison of the mind. No theory can justify the sacredness of a human life. He is sentenced to 8 years in a Siberian prison camp. And here, in the bitter cold and hard labor, the final transformation occurs. He is prideful, cold, and unchanged for a long time. He still believes his only crime was failure. But Sonya has followed him. She lives nearby, a beacon of unwavering love and faith. She is his lifeline. Then he falls ill again and has a vision of a plague that makes men think they are supermen, leading to the destruction of all humanity. He wakes up, and finally, he understands. He sees the arrogance of his idea not as a philosophy, but as a sickness. He looks at Sonya, and for the first time he feels not theory, not calculation, but love. He weeps, and at her feet he begins his true atonement. Not through intellectual argument, but through the painful, humble, and slow process of redemption. He has a long road ahead, but for the first time, he has hope. Moral Lesson 2. True redemption is not found in justifying your sins, but in confronting them with humility. It is found not in isolation, but in connection, love, and suffering for the sake of renewal. the final, powerful lesson. The ultimate punishment for his crime was not Siberia. It was the terrifying, soul-crushing isolation of his own guilt. And the ultimate redemption was not found in proving he was extraordinary, but in finally accepting the extraordinary gift of love and grace offered by the most ordinary of people. His punishment was the crime. His salvation was the confession, not just to the law, but to his own heart. And that is the story of crime and punishment.